Welcome to The Big Question. Today's topic, pharmaceutical companies, greedy or life-saving? There's a growing argument in the world today regarding pharmaceutical companies. One side says that they are greedy organizations who only focus on huge profits. The other side says pharmaceutical companies are saving lives through scientific research, but that research costs money and that money must be recouped. Neither side seems to trust the other, and both sides love to talk.
Medical miracles in pill form are now extending the lives of people with cancer who would otherwise die quickly without them. But the astronomical price of some of those drugs puts them out of reach for many who need them.
Big Pharma's agenda, it's a global agenda to not just take your money and make sure that you die broke, but also to see that not as many of you survive as you should.
This is a life-saving industry. This is the industry that we hope is going to be able to control Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and these other diseases of the elderly. So we are dependent upon the pharmaceutical industry.
Big Pharma has made billions and billions in profits.
They made these profits by slapping extraordinary price tags on the prescription drugs and health treatments that they sell here in the United States, that Americans are forced to rely on in order to survive devastating diseases like cancer.
Canada, Mexico, their governments are bulk purchasers of these drugs, and so they negotiate much cheaper prices with the drug companies. We still don't do that, and I actually think it's something we should do.
And this drug has been on the market so long, and people cannot afford buying this treatment, and governments cannot afford buying this treatment, and because of it, people are dying.
Research is getting more complicated. And why is research getting more complicated is because there are new diseases that we're trying to actually go after.
Did you know that the largest 11 drug companies raked in $85 billion in net profits last year?
Why can't Big Pharma settle for only $42 billion in profits?
To develop a drug, and generally it costs about $1 billion to get a drug to market.
Companies make medicines and they put pharmaceutical patents on those medicines, which gives them the exclusive right to produce and market that medicine in a given country where that patent is valid for a minimum period of 20 years.
In general, now it's thought that it takes about 16 to 17 years to discover, from when you start working on a drug project until the drug goes to market.
To do all of the studies, the rules, the regulations, is the drug safe? Does the drug work? All of these things require time and a lot of money for these companies to spend, lots of money.
What Big Pharma is doing is they're pushing for laws that will maintain high pharmaceutical prices, which so far have been the main barrier to us achieving universal access to treatment. So what they're really doing is they're actually letting people die for the sake of their profit.
I mean to tell you, those large corporations put an awful lot of money in research and development to make our standard of life better.
Most of that R&D.
The arguments and sound bites have become so predictable, it's almost mind-numbing. So today, on The Big Question, we'll discuss a scenario that looks at the responsibilities of drug companies, the responsibility to their investors, and their responsibility to the community at large. Since 1937, Global Partners Pharmaceutical Company has been inventing drugs that have saved lives. Understanding that they should return a portion of their profits back to the communities they serve, in the last 10 years, Global Partners has averaged $300 million a year in philanthropic gifts to numerous nonprofit and charitable organizations around the world, with most of the money going to these organizations. In the year 2000, the company had great success with 2 different drugs in pill form. One of these medications focuses on treating tuberculosis, especially for those with HIV. The other drug has reduced the spread of lung and brain cancers. For the last 13 years, at a cost of over $1 billion, the company has worked very hard to get the drugs through the rigorous testing and FDA approvals. The drug is now on the market 2 years ahead of schedule. Both drugs are proving to be very effective and popular. The cost per pill ranges between $700 and $1,000 each. Recently, Global Partners has been receiving extreme public pressure to lower the prices, or better yet, give away these drugs to the poor here in the United States and abroad. Global's board of directors has called a special meeting to discuss how the company should respond to this public pressure. And they're looking for input from you, the UTSA Executive MBA class. What say you?